there YouTube, my name is Aura. Welcome to my channel, and today I want to make a video about mermaid magic. I have gotten a couple of requests before about talking more about ocean magic and water magic in general and how to incorporate that more into your craft, but I wanted to start actually with mermaids. I don't know why that called to me, but that really called to me today, so that's what we're doing. Before I get into it, I wanted to start with a quick disclaimer for any skeptics out there, people who just do not believe in mermaids at all. I get it, it's fine, don't worry about it. If you are on the fence, like a lot of witches are, about fairies, ghosts, mermaids, etc., other kinds of like pixie-like beings, that's fine too. The point is that we understand that our universe, it has many physical planes to it and also many spiritual planes, and that comes down to our earth as well. So creatures that exist on our earth that we can physically see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Taste. Ugh. Anyway, the physical creatures that are here now we can interact with because we're on the same plane of existence and same like field of vision, but you know, there are others. I don't think that you can completely dismiss what people have seen. So you know what, I'm just gonna talk about mermaids and you can deal with it. Alright, so I think we at least understand that there are two primary ideas of mermaids in our like culture and our cultural psychology. The first would be like the Little Mermaid type, where they're super sweet, super feminine, super naive and innocent. And the second type would be more the Harry Potter type of mermaid that is like here to fuck you up. Like she's going to get your man, she's gonna take you to the bottom of the ocean, she's gonna take your gold, she's taking the whole house. You accidentally gave her power of attorney and all your shit is just, it's hers now. That's that kind of mermaid. If we take a look at the whole like global scope of mermaid lore, we can kind of understand the patriarchy and the threat that mermaids posed to people and why our lore developed the way it did. What I mean by that is, of course, if there are beautiful women at sea, they would be temptresses, they would be dangerous, they would allure and get your man, and you don't want that to happen. I think a lot of those kinds of things about mermaids just come from fear, just like fears of spirits become like ghosts are evil, or a fear of aliens becomes like, oh my god, they're gonna invade us, but they haven't yet for some reason. Fear does things to people is what I'm trying to say. That being said, I think we need to look at the world from a mermaid's point of view. Mermaids occupy not only the deep sea, but they also live in our freshwater systems. They swim upriver, they have been seen in the lakes before, but it's not very common. Often, mermaids that are seen in different kinds of environments are given different types of names and often will have different types of physical characteristics. So whatever kind of body of water that you live nearest to, be it a lake or a river or the actual ocean, you will probably have some kind of water spirit that resembles a mermaid living there that you can communicate with. I made another video about connecting with deities in general, but that's more for gods and goddesses. I'll link it below. If that can kind of help with the idea of making contact with different spirits. It's definitely specifically for gods and goddesses. I should make another one about general spirits, but that's there for your reference if you like it. So if you are a mermaid living in the deep sea, which most mermaids do, what is the world like to you? How do you look at humanity? We have polluted these oceans like no other. If I were a mermaid today, I'd be pretty pissed off and probably not a big fan of humans and not really wanting to help them much. So with that in mind, I think that mermaids do take an extra like leap of work to get them to, and not just them, but maybe one or two to really take to you. If we look back in history, we know that they would follow our ships and they were really interested in what we were up to. They would go to shipwrecks. In some cases, it would be they would lure men to shipwrecks, in others it would be trying to warn them, and still in others it would be comforting men as they drowned to their deaths, trying to give them some kind of solace, singing to them while they died. So if you are a mermaid, you are used to really dark shit. Like, mermaids are not all glitz and glam and beautiful, and that really is part of them, just like the ocean can be beautiful, but the sea is also stormy. The sea has skeletons. The sea has seen so much death, and it sees so much death and destruction and pollution every day. It's important to keep in mind that the ocean has all of its phases in it. It has serene waters and stormy waters, has big waves and surfable waves, and so any creature that comes from the ocean, any magic that deals with the ocean, is going to have that same sense of neutrality. This is something that I really try to stress to people when I talk to them about ocean magic, because I think that it is a very attractive form of magic to take on, a very attractive form of witchcraft to be a sea witch, but being a sea witch is very hard. it requires a lot of grittiness, and it requires a lot of attuning your own morality to be a little bit more neutral as the seas is. And that can be tough for humans who are extremely empathetic and extremely selfish too. And we always think that our way is the right way, or our perspective is the right perspective. We don't often have a larger cosmic perspective in mind. For example, the beating of a wave on a rock is going to be really dramatic when the boat crashes into it, but in 2,000 years, those rocks are no longer sharp and they've become beautiful sand. So there is work that the ocean waves are doing. Maybe humans are just kind of getting in the way, or your path or your intentions are getting in the way of it. So with that in mind, mermaids are stewards of the ocean. They understand this type of magic like the back of their fin hand, their webbed hand. The first thing to do to kind of start to communicate with mermaids would be grounding and meditation. This can be best done at the ocean, like with your feet in the sand. This is what I like to do, not just to talk to mermaids, but to really ground myself to speak to any water or ocean spirit. This is a surefire way to make it happen. You want to stand right where the water is hitting the shoreline. Stand there very still, very calmly. Close your eyes, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. As the waves come in and recede, you will notice that you are going to start sinking into the sand. Kids are probably familiar with this. I think every kid I knew growing up did this, so it should be pretty easy. The trick is you want to try to breathe with the waves once you're comfortable. You inhale with the waves and exhale with the waves. So when the waves are coming in rough, you have to adjust. And when they're going in real slow and smooth, you have to adjust. This can take a lot of practice. Don't push yourself too much. Allow it to be a bit of a journey, and eventually you can breathe with and alongside the ocean. Once you've gotten the hang of this, or even before, depending on the strength of the spirit that wants to speak with you, you will probably feel them. You will get a sense of them being present in the area or present in the ocean around you, and they will probably they'll have some kind of energy signature. Once you know the ocean's rhythms, you'll be able to kind of get a sense of oh, I feel something else intelligent, something else with a lot of personality present. I really hesitate to use the word intelligent because we know that all life is sacred and all life has intelligence. The fish is brilliant and wise, but there is something to be said about spirits and fairies and deities. They have a different kind of energy signature because they also have the sense of individuality that humans do, whereas an animal species has a more of a collective consciousness. So you'll feel that personality, individual energy signature. And that's a really good key to know. There's probably a mermaid in the area. Next are mermaid offerings, and this is the funnest part, is to kind of gather your offerings. It's so important not to litter in the ocean. Please do not litter in the ocean. It's already full of shit. Don't do it. Please don't fill a jar with beautiful things and throw it in the ocean. Just don't do it. You can choose to toss in some herbs or some things that already come from the ocean if you got them at the grocery store and you wanted to kind of return them to where they go, or if you want to buy a fish and say, hey mermaid, this one's for you. Really good choices in the herb department would be things like ivy, rose, jasmine, chamomile, thyme, myrrh, skullcap, mugwort, feverfew, poppy. Poppy's good. I like to have a good time. You can also offer fish, like I said, or things like seaweed or shark teeth or seashells or anything that you want to return to the ocean. A really good one to do, in my opinion, would be starfish. Starfish are actually undergoing intense harvesting because people like to use them for decoration a lot of the time. So if you happen to stumble across a for sale real dried out starfish, it probably was harvested before its natural time to die. So returning that to the sea as an offering to the mermaids, I think they'd much appreciate that. We have done so much damage to their home. Any kind of gesture that we make of I'm returning this to you, I'm sorry that we took it when it wasn't needed, I think that's definitely noticed and appreciated. Other offerings to do would be more at your altar space. So if you wanted to, let's say, offer a aquamarine stone to a mermaid, no, you should not throw it in the ocean. What you can do is take it to the ocean, kind of bury it in the sand a little bit, let it charge at the waves, do the whole meditation thing I talked about earlier, and you can ask the mermaid that you're trying to speak with or that you're already in communication with to bless that stone, and that you'll be taking it home and you want to use it as an anchor toward them. Anchor, that's kind of funny because the ocean. Ha! Other than aquamarine, other choices would be things like pearls or abalone shell. Pretty much any stone that is white or blue is going to work well. It doesn't have to be blue, it could be like a sea green, but anything that kind of mimics the ocean wave and then the foam on top. So pearls, opals, sodalite, blue agate, aquamarine, sapphire is a good choice as well. And you could do aura quartz if you are into aura quartz. I don't recommend aura quartz for mermaids just because it's not that I don't think that aura quartz has a place in magic, but I do think that when it comes to working with mermaids, they're so focused on the natural environment and keeping the ocean healthy and natural materials and no waste, that I don't think that any chemically treated or altered stone is really going to be the right thing to do with them in particular. Doesn't mean other spirits or deities are not going to be interested, but I don't think it would work too well for mermaids, but you can give it a try and let me know how it goes. Lastly would be the kind of magic to rely on mermaids for. If you've built a relationship with a mermaid and you've gotten to know each other and you've gotten her wisdom, the best kind of spells to invoke them in are going to be, you guessed it, moon spells. Because mermaids are so associated with the ocean, that means that they probably worship the moon just like we worship the sun. They live by the moon. The moon governs the tides, the moon governs the currents, the moon is everything to the mermaid. So any moon magic, the mermaid can add a lot of wisdom and firepower to that spell. Mermaids are also associated with love and lust, so anything in that department is going to go well too. So if you want to do any kind of sex magic, invite the mermaid. Love magic, invite the mermaid. Beauty spells, invite that mermaid. At Sephora right now they have like these mermaid compacts with different eyeshadows and all that, and I just think that is so yes, exactly. Do more of that. So enchant your beauty tools with Mermaid Magick, enchant your bedroom with Mermaid Magick, enchant your everyday life with Mermaid Magick. Just do it. Especially mirrors. Mirrors are a big one. You'll see yourself better if you enchant your mirror with Mermaid Magick. Experience a boost in confidence. Because mermaids are of the ocean, they of course are also associated with abundance. So any kind of fertility spells are going to go really well. And also protection. Because mermaids are actually associated with the abundance of nature and natural life, they want to protect that natural life. So if you want to do any kind of protection magic for pets or your home or your garden or a creek or a river near your house, that would be a great time to invoke the mermaid, because they are really invested in keeping those places clean, safe, and sustainable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it was helpful to you on your spiritual path. Please let me know in the comments below what you're up to with mermaids, if you have ever contacted one or actually had a sighting. And I think we all have a little thing for mermaids. Thank you so much for watching this. If you'd like to connect with me, you can check out the links below to things like Instagram or Tumblr. And otherwise, yeah, just have a great day and go swimming. It's good for you. Ahoy!